Well met, lords and ladies. Jacob Butter speaking. Is this thing on? I hope it's on. Yeah. Gonna be a little bit of a scuffed stream, I think, potentially, before I depart and I disappear for a couple of days. And if you're wondering why, read the ticker down below. That's Vin has noticed. He's pointed in the back rooms. Yeah, so obviously Vin is here since I've just brought him up. Yeah. Hello. So yeah, we've got our old DM back. Not DMing today, obviously, but still hosting something.
And figuring it out as we go because
That is true because like you never hosted a Kahoot specifically. Obviously, you've taken part in any of them, and you've made
also,
this one. So
the fun part of I do all of these calls on mobile, but in order to present this, I need to do it on computer. So in that case, I have temporarily created an alt to sort of shove into stream to see if this works. Based on the fact that Jacob was able to get in.
That is true. I see two. Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, I have we can switch perspectives actually. Yeah. So this is I just saw it. I just read it in the background. I was like, okay, I'll try it out.
Yeah, come try.
So yeah, anyone who is wishing to take part in this Quest of the Rising Sun Kahoot themed, please do so. But before we get onto that, I'll introduce the other people in the VC because I've already cut out once already. So I might as well not leave someone high and dry on their own. So please welcome BB.
Hello, BB.
Hi.
As far as talking, we've got the stream covered now, but for sure. Although Emily is also here.
Hello, Emily.
Oh. Emily.
Hi. Hello. Oh.
I made this all today. I think I started at like 12, and I spent maybe an hour doing it because I should actually be in a D&D session right now, but this is more important.
Did you tell the players that?
I did tell them that. I'm a player, so it's all right. I told them already. I told the DM in advance. The session's happening right now. It's all right. I have everything set up.
Of all people to know D&D protocol, I would probably guess that Vin would be the person.
Yep. I alerted the DM. I believe I alerted the DM at 12 when I started working on this. I joined in for session until I had to come in here, set up a few things, and then right now there's a split story going on. The part that I'm in isn't happening right now, so I have time.
Fair enough then. Well, in that case, we shan't keep you for too long, even though I know you've been excited for to celebrate this in general.
Yeah.
Which I am, I'm very impressed by as well, considering of all the things you've experienced, this holds a place. So I'm glad about that.
Yeah,
at least. So that's the first.
This whole thing is the reason why I'm in this community. So I'm still glad it happened.
It's true. Absolutely.
I mean, it was quite the interesting thing.
Like how,
but it brought me here. So,
yeah, absolutely. And and that is worth commending because you've been the one who's been tracking the anniversary itself. I mean, actually, I'm currently in the basement in which it all started. Actually, so it's come full circle for me in that sense as well. But yeah, so we've also got I don't know what's going on the settings.
Oh, that was ignore that. Just a little bit of setup. Just make sure everything, all the stuff is right.
Yeah, fair enough. So we've got it's been a year since it happened.
Yeah,
well, Vin did, and thus warned everyone.
Yep. Yeah, no, it feels so weird.
Although I will say, I knew it was approaching because actually when the first time I went to check out the school that I was going to be doing my placement in and whatever, we actually went to Portugal because it was right. I can say this right now. So it was on the border of Portugal, and while we were exploring there, I think after we'd eaten, was when I first initially came up with like one of like the big things that I was going to do, like, as a bard for the first time, fully being aware that I was going to be making, parody songs as I went along.
Yeah.
And I still haven't used that song. It was the reason that Nathaniel never did Vicious Mockery in the series, because I was saving it for that specific thing that never that never came to pass.
Yeah, there's so much
really
that There's so much that I wanted to do with Barb that I don't think will ever get the opportunity to happen, which is a shame.
Yeah.
Same with Lumina.
Well, you say that is the reason we've been talking about adapting it into script form, or to like basically Legend of Vox Machinaing it, but without I guess as much of the source material. So that may still come to pass, and that might be a better way to go about it. To not leave the story unfinished, because clearly we all care about it since we're here.
I just don't think it'll hit the same as playing it.
It probably won't, is the thing.
Without knowing the specifics, and don't tell me what they are. Yeah, I can't really back that up. But I mean, in general, everyone else seems to be there. I've talked about to everyone either individually or in different groups that we happen to be in. People seem to be up for the idea in general. So, I mean, I guess, and it'll probably the benefits might, I think, outweigh, the drawbacks on account of us not tearing each other's throats out, potentially.
Yeah. I'm gonna wait a few minutes before starting it. Yeah.
That's sure, because Aidan is also here, so he needs time to set up.
Yeah, I'm loading up Kahoot as we speak. Actually, wait, I use my phone. I use my phone.
I said I was gonna wait because I had only just read the DMs Aidan sent me that he was driving home, and I'm like, it shouldn't take that long.
Yeah, I was like,
when I said one of the people, I've spoken to everyone about this. I mean, including BB, but it was she was one who was on the fence at the time.
Yeah, and I still really, I don't know, because conceptually, fine. Yeah, I agree. I think conceptually it sounds interesting. I just don't think it'll end up as well as it sounds,
When does anything we do?
It depends. Yeah, because things might not gel together in the same way. Or alternatively, everything that we had potentially planned that would have been left up to the wills of randomness or whatnot, we can actually ensure comes to pass. So I don't know. It depends.
But the randomness, I think the randomness and having to make things on the fly and actively alter the plans
is what makes it really interesting.
Well, not just
you say
interesting.
That after you point out that you had some things that you planned to do.
Yeah, but sometimes those things had to change, and that's fine. But there's a difference between it changing in a organic way that the character and the setting allows, and them changing because the universe exploded overnight in the blink of an eye. There's a difference.
Yeah, that's fair. I only just now realized Oh yeah, I forgot. Yeah, the Bitmoji is just sort of gonna be there because I'm running this through my verified Kahoot account because I don't know how that happened.
Do you get a nice check mark?
Okay. Maybe after acing so many questions, that might have been the case.
This Kahoot account's been verified for, I believe this is its 4th year. Alright, so
your guess is as good as mine, if not better.
Yeah, I have no clue how it happened, but it did. So everybody is here. Aidan, would you like to change your avatar before going in, or are you good with that?
Sure. I don't know. What animal does Doc?
You ask good questions, man.
What animal?
You could just pick the brain.
What's the worst animal?
I don't think there's anything in here that looks like a rock gnome, so I'm fine as I am, I think.
Yeah.
I mean, hey, you're gray like a rock gnome. Well, I mean, I guess the rock gnome is like a grayish brown, but close enough. I'm gonna be a penguin boy, and I don't think there's any doctor things. I mean, I give him like a graduation cap, like this is his cap when he graduated from the medical.
All right.
There's an American Dad character called Dr. Penguin.
Yeah.
Sure.
We ready to do this?
Wait, why is why is
we're ready to do
Barb's
this,
icon a
yes.
frog though?
It was just automatically set like that, but I love
Wow.
frogs anyway, so I
Yeah,
couldn't care
frog-
less.
Hold up. Good. Dang.
I guess what we were just saying, the will of randomness.
Yep. All right. We ready
Yeah.
to go?
Sometimes that's how it goes.
Sure.
Yeah.
All right. Here we go. Oh,
Who made this Kahoot, by the way?
I did. It was all me.
Ah.
All right.
I can't wait to get all of it wrong.
Oh,
Um,
See how much I
Yeah.
remember. Yeah.
well, anyway, surprise. I bet none of y'all expected this. Okay, maybe Jacob.
Wait, I don't know. I'm pretty sure Jacob has mentioned something along these lines to
Why
me.
do you think I wrote, okay, maybe Jacob did, but other than that,
Just internet issue.
How
The image won't load on here, but it will on there.
dang. Let's see how much of y'all remember this absolute mess. Just a little thing in advance. Some of these questions are relatively to very difficult.
Okay.
Okay.
That's the point of Kahoot. Let's get it started.
Here we go. Question 1.
Flex their brains.
Which of these tables was not used during the campaign?
What?
Hmm.
Hmm.
There are two possibilities here, I'd say.
I would say one of them was used once.
Oh, I think I know what
That's
was used
not
once.
helpful.
I remember these quite well.
I was confused and I remembered.
Fair enough then.
Yep.
Yeah.
Because I was like thinking, I was like, yeah, I'm pretty sure I remember the spice tab.
Well,
I
no,
remember something about the spice.
So,
I feel
what
The
it
thing
was
is, the thing is, I distinctly remember spice, medicinal, and wild magic. And the thing is, we had random plot important NPCs, but we didn't have it as a table.
Yep. Exactly.
Yeah.
Vinh didn't
You're
tell us everything that he was rolling, so that was the other thing.
Everything I put in here is stuff that I said during campaign, or stuff that was written in the Discord server.
Wait, who put medical side effect table?
Okay.
I don't
Medicinal.
I don't know.
Because I'm just saying that was like a major plot point or
That
like
was-
a major thing
yeah.
I did for like 2 episodes where it was like, everybody, I'm gonna give you pills to fix things.
Yep.
Oh,
alright.
It
God,
might
now
have been.
you're
It might have been more than
involved.
two. It felt like more than two.
It
It
certainly
was-
did.
I was I listen, I love the pills, okay?
The pills were funny.
The pills
Someone
were
clip
great.
that. Someone
Question
clip
number 2.
Oh,
Who ran the inn/hotel the player stayed in?
think I know
that?
It's a memory. This is very much memory. As in-
Adam
Oh,
from
as
Fallen
in-
Angels?
Okay.
Well, is his
Someone
last
can
name
edit
Cadmon? That's the question.
No canon last
Canon.
name to my speak.
Oh.
Yes, it was Adamari Cesaro.
Yeah.
Adam Cadmon is a Persona 5 reference, and also another thing. I took the Kamibo Umu name from actually the DM of the campaign I should be playing in right now. He was in call while I was making
I'm
this.
sure he'll appreciate that.
Yeah.
Oh,
No, he was in
God.
call while I was making this. I asked him for a name, and that's what he gave me. Good enough. All right.
Oh,
Here we
there
go.
you go. Okay.
Dang it. All right. Here we go. Question number 3. What was the nickname? What was the nickname given to this background location?
Oh, the Tron.
No, don't say it out loud.
Every single answer has the word Tron in it. It's okay.
All of
Yeah,
them
why are
say
you
Tron, Aidan.
Okay, yeah, but
All
you
of them
know,
say Tron.
All of them say Tron. Yeah, this is one of the funny tricks. You put the same word in front of all of them. You gotta actually remember which one it is.
My favorite, the Tron.
That is
Tron.
my kind of Kahoot question, as in to write, not necessarily to respond, but to write.
man, this is great.
Yeah,
So I
this
did
is
this.
the
I did this
Tron
with
basement.
one like Aidan series and such, where it was yeah, we all got that. Wow.
Yeah. I love the Tron basement. Probably one of the funniest things that happened during the entire campaign was the Tron basement.
Yeah, it didn't look. If I
In feudal
recall, it didn't look.
Japan.
Yeah, if I recall, it didn't look at all what it was intended as, but it just kind of went.
It did. It's just like I said, we never got to the reason why it looked like that. Also, no, that
Time travel.
exact image
It's
that
like
we
with the
used.
cultists. Sometimes you got to find backgrounds.
Yeah, no, that is the
I
I
exact
think
it
Vinh
is.
image.
named
Who-
these.
Well,
Yeah, no,
no,
the basement was never named. There was no name for the basement.
Yeah, we just
Jacob
made
just
it.
So-
declared it as the Tron basement, and we went from there.
Well, no, okay,
I thought
hold
you
on. I
said
don't.
crawl basement first.
No,
But it
so
did.
Vin.
But
Okay,
listen.
guys, it's just no. So Vin it was just a basement. It was one of us. I don't remember who, honestly. One of us, as the players though, mentioned, "Oh, why does it look like Tron or whatever?" And we all kind of agreed. And so from that point on, we had it as a running joke. We know it's a basement because it's a base. That's just
it was
location.
actively in a basement. Yes.
So
it
so
looked like
logically, Tron basement.
Yep. And yes, that is the same image we used all the way back then. I had to dig it up from the Discord server. So
I
all right, here
remember
we go.
it. Yes.
True or false? In the final episode run by me, Vin, the button made Wild Magic go off 17 times.
Oh no.
It's true or false? You got a 50-50. Yeah.
Oh.
Watch it be like
Yes.
it was actually 18 times.
I'm not gonna say anything.
That'd be funny.
I'm pretty sure that is the
Okay.
idea because it did run off multiple times. It did go off
Multiple,
times.
yeah.
That is true.
Yeah,
It's
this
just-
is the first one that I don't really know.
This one, hey, it's 50-50. So it was.
Yeah, dang it.
I like how my thing said a bit too swift. I believe it was 10 times because that was the big point of contention.
God,
Well,
we kept
anyways-
switching bodies.
Anyway. Now that you know that it wasn't 17, how many times did it happen?
Oh man.
Well,
Well, I think
I should
we were
stop
just
talking in
talking
between.
about. Oh well, we were wrong anyway.
well, Jacob was
okay, I guess that wasn't one of the answers. Okay,
It was not 10.
well, I'll say something.
It's guys. It's obviously.
Well, you had to roll all of them, so
I had to roll
It
all
definitely
of them.
felt
I
like,
remember.
you know,
I
It's
remember.
obvious,
people that rolled-
guys. It's obviously 16 for surezies.
It was 15.
I'm gonna sob.
Number 15. Burger
Uh,
Leg.
No, I'm off of the podium.
No. All right, top 3
Dang.
right now.
on the
Not
podium,
First place
even though my answer
is-
streak is lost.
First place is Hera. Second place, Lumina. Third place, Nathaniel.
Lumi, switch please. You're in my spot.
All right, here we
Well,
go.
Hera's in my spot.
Don't worry, there are easier questions. That one was very difficult. But anyways,
Cheating, guys.
what was the name of the spirit the players met in the library? I am there.
Oh
Easy
yeah,
questions.
easy.
Yeah, easy. I told you easy.
Speaking of
questions.
easy questions, yeah.
Very easy
Best
question.
friend.
It's a best friend and nothing more.
Yeah, nothing more. It's my friend.
Listen, I still ship it though.
But why though? They
I still
don't
ship
have
it.
any
Yeah,
chemistry.
there's no romantic intrigue. They're just best friends.
Yeah, they're just best friends.
Good buddy pals.
Good buddy pals. Absolute
Good
chums.
pal buddy
And I'm
pal
sure they
buddy
are both
pal
on the
pal
same
buddy.
page about that.
Exactly.
Yes.
Oh God.
I
I mean,
don't know.
one of them is really hard
Yep.
to read.
Very, very easy questions. Like I said, we got a good variety of easy and difficult. I would have been very confused if anyone got that wrong. All right, question.
Probably was like, oh, my thumb slipped.
What?
I think I talked with Jacob about this one
Oh.
recently.
Yes, you did. Yes, you did.
Oh, I remember this one perfectly.
I know this was a name, but I don't remember if it was the name for that specific session. So
Yeah, two of the names
I'm
here.
gonna have to ask a question about one of these names. I'm gonna have to ask a question about one of these names in a moment, but I won't say which one yet.
Oh no, I know exactly.
The one
the two of them.
yeah, okay, I was right.
Whoa, can I play a walrus? Jacob, go ahead and ask your
Yeah,
question.
okay. Where did of meese and men come from?
Okay, so it was a one shot. It was a one shot with my friends that was taking place in Canada, and the guy was gonna write of moose and men, and then proceeded to write of moose and men on.
Yeah. Okay, no.
I was about to, I was
actually,
about to
no,
say
sorry,
because
not even,
the plural of
not-
moose is
not-
moose, so I was like, okay, just check.
No, and you know what? I have a beef with that fact. I'm so angry about that one specific facet of the English language. We have plurals so we have like cool names, right? So you have like crows or whatever, they're a murder, you have ferrets, a business, rats, a mischief, right? And then you have like the more logical one, right? Like frogs and cats and dogs. And then
know
for,
that
like,
you've
and then
got two classifications of different things because a plural form of a singular noun is different from the group given to those nouns.
Yeah.
So a murder of crows is different to a murder of
Oh.
crows. Crows is the plural, murder is the group. So that's a difference there.
Yeah, okay. Anyways, then you have like like mouse and mice, right? It bugs me so much. It sucks so much that moose is moose because I hear moose and I think the most logical plural for that should be meese.
Because goose is geese.
Exactly.
Yes, that's why you're thinking that, because that's logical either.
Yep. Also, I would like to highlight storming the Bastille.
That's you making a logical connection based on illogical fact.
I would like to highlight storming the Bastille. I don't know where this came from. I just wrote it. And I liked it enough that I put a bass as the actual image.
Fair enough.
Anyways, all right. I can hear aggressive typing.
The spot has been reclaimed.
Yep. I will say though, Nathaniel's only behind by 1 point. Actively anyone's game. Next question. Which gacha series had an episode reacted to by the party?
Oh no. I never watched this stream, so this isn't ingrained in my head. Oh no.
No, well, only me, Emily, and Jacob were there.
Yeah,
maybe Ben was in chat.
Shoot.
I was
naturally. I put it
I just
together.
found
so,
the video.
Yeah.
I was not in chat. I just don't know. I just knew y'all reacted to something.
Yeah.
And found it.
I saw the stream appear, but I wasn't.
Yeah.
I never sat down to actually watch it.
It wouldn't be.
The creator actually commented on that video, and I'm not sure. I'm not sure if he knows that we're not normally like that.
Yep.
What an interesting first impression.
I don't know. Yeah, absolutely.
The features were fought by the party during the encounter in the "Whoa, can I buy a walrus" one-shot.
I don't actually think I was there.
I know you were there.
You absolutely were, because you just
you
attempted to befriend all of them. I'm pretty sure.
No,
that's a much later session.
Yeah, no. What Emily did during this one shot, I'm not gonna say it yet because it relates to a different question. But yes, it was Ed's.
Yeah. So if I recall, this is the one where we had the magic cancer.
What?
Oh yeah, it is. Yeah, this is where magic cancer came from.
Is this? I because I remember discussing it at several points, being like, what if there's magical cancer you give people?
Yeah.
We tried using it in the battle at the end. We really gave the most painful executions that we could to these guys.
Hey BB.
Well, remember, KW. Most of the time when we did one shot is because you specifically could not be there on that day. Yeah. Yep. So you're not going to remember most of them. I know at one point you did show up for one of them, and I screamed it through a portal.
Which god is not canon to the Quest of the Rising Sun universe, including one-shots? I did include one-shots in this question. Because,
that so quick.
Yes, that's...
Yeah, I know this one.
This one should be quite obvious on which one is not canon.
And also, Whoa, Can I Buy a Walrus was our opening session, if I recall. It was the one that started it, but was not meant to become a series. So that's a little bit different than the rest of the
No. Whoa, Can I Buy a Walrus was when I sent y'all through a portal and y'all befriended freaking everything.
Okay.
Yeah.
Which is why I said earlier that Emily tried to befriend stuff, including the thing that you said she didn't. But yeah, what B was referring to that becoming a series was because I then used a character from Whoa, Can I Buy a Walrus as the inciting incident for Arkham Marine Adventure.
All right. So yeah, both the
no. We had a one shot at the start as a test run, and
that was never named.
That was not named. We didn't name the one shot because it wasn't recorded.
We just declared.
Not one shot. We didn't name session 0. We didn't name the session 0. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
So both the Cheese God and Hermes appeared in the Whoa, Can I Buy a Walrus one shot.
Shout out to Nathaniel.
Exactly. That's why I brought him back. You see.
Yep.
I want to bring into cheese people into Mysteries of Occult.
Stop doing this to me, please.
Listen, okay. I want to have.
I all means.
I will say having
here's how you do it. Here's how you do it. You know how you have like rock golems. You've already canonized those cheese golems.
Yeah.
Yep.
Anyway.
Yes.
Which did not participate in the Whoa, Can I Buy a Walrus encounter? All of them were there.
Oh, encounter. I see.
The fight. Yes, the fight.
We love cheese,
It's between
Nathaniel.
two.
If that's the case, I definitely just clicked the wrong one then.
It was
God
the
damn
big
it.
giraffe.
I knew.
Yep.
What? I
The
thought
big
the big giraffe was there.
He was there. He did
The
not
draft was there,
participate.
but didn't participate. Remember, Vin didn't have everyone take part because by that point we befriended so many creatures that they
Yes.
all couldn't feasibly take part.
Yes. So
That's right. Yeah.
Yep. I still have the battle map and the initiative list. The everything else there did participate. Nathaniel was obvious participation. Cheese God did. I don't remember what he. I think he turned one of the floors into cheese magma, and the T-Rex was a T-Rex.
Cheese magma.
Yes, there was cheese magma.
Yeah.
As in, like, molten cheese that
was
was
like
so hot,
boiling
right?
cheese.
Again, yeah, that was a relatively hard question, so I'm not too surprised no one got that right. Anyways, which musical artist is canon to the Quest of the Rising Sun universe?
Oh yeah, this one
Oh,
sparked a whole
yeah.
God.
Yeah.
This one sparked a whole argument to start that I still think I was right in.
One of my, I love that I did this.
But it was definitely the
It
first
was
example.
Jason
of what I think we should go with.
Yeah.
Because I love Jason Mraz's music. It's amazing.
I don't know
Jason-
who Jason Mraz is still.
Yeah, I
I'm
don't
going to
either.
introduce you to Jason Mraz. music.
Yes,
All
I'm
right.
at my
I have not
spot.
looked any
Okay.
further into it.
Here we go. Next question. What kind of enemies and what number of them were fought in the library?
Oh,
Oh God.
no.
Wait. I'm remembering some of
Shoot.
this.
it's between.
There's
two
number
of them.
2.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's between
Yeah, I was gonna
two
say
of
it's
these.
between a see again my type of question that I would absolutely write. So I appreciate the
Vin's making us do
the
math,
construction of this
guys.
one.
He's making us do math. How dare he?
That's
no
not
dick.
math.
Oh
it's
no,
just
you're doing
rewind.
maths in D&D related stuff.
Oh
What
no!
a shock.
Okay,
It's
so
also not math.
depressing.
it was 1 samurai and 2 ninjas.
I knew there was like 2 ninjas. And I do remember the ninjas seeing the word ninjas. I'm like, okay, I assume there's 2 ninjas, so it's probably the 1 samurai.
Yeah, only one of them says 2
There's
ninjas.
only one of those that says 2
Yeah.
This one
ninjas in it,
says
so
2
it had to be the
ninjas.
one
This
samurai
one says
by
2
logic.
occultists. This one is 2 monks, and this one is 2 samurais.
Because also, I feel like I would have remembered occultist or monks. I feel like that's something that would have
Well,
stuck
yeah.
in my brain seeing that question.
I
Like,
didn't
yes.
know what to write for the other 2 answers, so I decided, we're gonna do occultists and monks.
Yeah.
Well, the
Yeah,
thing
no,
is,
like-
monks wouldn't have made sense.
There's only
given,
one
like,
monk
that's just not really how monks
now.
operate.
Oh God.
I am so glad I did not write a question about you. You are too famous at this point.
Oh, we love her. Hashtag
Well, I
spread
didn't write a question
supremacy.
about them. There's
People
too much
might
about
not know
them.
my origin story
Anyways,
because
which
Aidan
PC
changed
did not
it.
participate in the Minecraft Never Have I Ever?
Okay.
Which PC did not participate in the Minecraft Never Have I Ever?
I just think
Wait, no, I clicked the wrong one. No, I know this wasn't it. No.
See, not
No,
everything
I-
about the campaign itself. I did do some other stuff.
No, I know
by
the
the way-
answer. and
by
I
the way-
dang it.
Vin, I
Yeah.
love that picture.
God
It
dang
was
it.
Barb, BB.
How'd you
I
get that
know
wrong?
it was Barb. I accidentally clicked the one right above Barb.
I was thrown off by BB's response because if BB did not remember who didn't take part, I assumed that meant that
I
she
was
there.
very
so-
confused when that was said.
God
Alright.
dang it.
Oh.
One
The
misclick
lead is-
and I'm
The
already
lead is
knocked all the
still
way
being
down
held
there.
strong by Nathaniel. I would say though we have enough questions to where a catch up could happen, which was not one of the names of a cat girl on Cat Girl Island.
Oh, I know them all.
Oh.
God dang it.
They
It's
also
again,
know
it's
them all.
another 2.
It's
Like-
between 2.
Like
I
Vin
don't
said,
remember which one.
I'm too famous.
I didn't.
Yeah,
This is why I
okay,
didn't
okay.
include you. Yes, it was Umi. I believe Azure was Emily.
And then there was Mai. who
Mine was Ghosty. Yuki was BB.
See, I didn't remember Mai or Umi, but I did remember Yuki and Azir.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I remember
same.
Mike as Mai was the bard, so
Yep.
not
All
doing
right.
that one.
We're gonna keep moving. Which class
I
was
also had
not
to
used by a
Google.
PC in the campaign?
Okay.
Oh.
Ooh.
Oh, that's wrong. Oh, for. Okay,
No.
I'm gonna
Uh-oh.
cry.
Okay, I put.
Wrong one.
I will say this. I put one of the answers there because I did not remember their class, and I had to actually go back to the character sheet to remember the class.
Oh no, I don't. I'm struggling with this one actually.
I definitely pressed the wrong one. I definitely pressed the wrong
This
yeah,
one is
I don't
difficult.
even.
This
I
one is
forgot.
difficult. It is
Yeah,
monster.
okay.
one. Oh no, I
Because-
didn't. I didn't press the wrong one. I
Because
did.
Sorcerer was Emily, the Druid was BB,
Yeah.
and Junior was the Paladin.
I'm gonna be so for real. I
Wait
forgot
a
that I was
minute.
druid for a
Wait,
second.
you were a druid, BB?
I
thought
forgot you
like
were a
warrior.
druid. That's why I thought it was
I
another
thought
answer.
you were a
also
warrior.
forgot that. Here's the thing,
What?
I remembered everyone's class except for BB's. So I went back into the character sheet and saw they were a Druid, and I'm like, wait, what?
Why?
No,
And I'm like, I
so-
have to use that question.
Why?
I'm surprised
No,
by that
so
as
I
well,
was-
considering everything.
Yeah, I was a druid. And you could see this in some moments. I actually did use magic a few times, but no, I wasn't. I wasn't a warrior. I tended to only really use magic whenever it seemed big and plot relevant. For the most part, I just relied on my own out of character wit and how to fight. Like if you remember that first battle, I literally grappled someone
Yeah.
by the leg and slammed him against the table.
All right. In one of the episodes, a character was given a version of the Midas touch, but it turned everything into candy. True or false? Very
Yeah.
easily
That
proved.
was
Yep.
me. I had
True.
gum
I remember
touch.
this because we used it to get through a wall, and I offered some of it to Lumina. It was one of the first bonding moments.
Yeah.
Yep.
The cat
Yep.
girl stayed behind and
'Cause
ate
she
all of
was-
it.
Yep. Anyways, which of these was the name of one of my two co-DMs? I chose the more obvious one. I will say this: I chose the one who was there more. I didn't choose Caden because
I'm gonna say, yeah, this is the real name rather than a username.
This is the real name, yes, in which he had announced
Yeah.
multiple times and did change himself.
He
to
recently
his
commented on the cult episode.
He did do that.
Oh, we
Also,
did.
his username is so close to his real name that it's very that it should be quite obvious. It is Brennan.
No, I gotta remember.
Brennan
Yeah.
Lee Mulligan, baby.
Peyton.
Every good campaign has a Brennan involved somewhere.
Yep. Christian
Except for Coulter.
was the guy who ran Book with No Name.
That's what I recognize that name.
Yep.
Like, I know there's a Christian. I can remember
There is
which
a
one.
Christian. He was the one who ran No Name.
I don't know.
Giving
I
that
don't
credit
remember
for
how
that
many
episode,
Christians we
so-
had there.
The item that got Hera drunk was the glass of unending booze.
Are we arguing semantics here?
Maybe.
I think we're gonna be arguing
Maybe.
semantics.
Maybe.
Yeah, we're gonna be.
Yep.
I was reading. I was like, we're gonna argue some semantics.
The
like
item is
flask
actually
of
called the
unending
Flask of Perpetual Booze.
booze. It's like we're gonna argue semantics.
Yep. The
I
item is
called
called the
I called it the flask of infinite booze, but similar thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't a
Infinite
glass.
Perpetual
Knew
close
that
enough.
was like
It was
I'm
never a glass,
tossing
it was always a flask. I was gonna write the question
was-
differently.
It was.
And I was gonna write it about how you guys drank out of those like funny paper office cones, if you know, because that's what we said you guys drank the whiskey out of. I was gonna do that.
Here's a question for the Butter Bunch people. Which one was funnier, drunk Hera or drunk Obi-Wan Kenobi? Oh wait, no, Aidan, you weren't there. Forget that.
Yeah, a question for me.
Yep. Here we go. Next question. What candy did Nathaniel and Lumina have a conversation about before?
Here's the one.
Oh.
I'm
Oh,
so
no.
glad I didn't say the
Alright.
name of the candy.
Pick one. Pick a chocolate.
I'm
man.
so glad I didn't say the name.
I know. I looked at Jacob like, don't say it. Don't say the name. Don't.
I don't know. Well, let's see.
Conversation points, you know.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
See,
I couldn't
did all-
misremember as well.
I did this entire thing.
Yeah.
From
I did
memory.
not misremember.
Yeah, no, I did this entire thing from memory. So I did it because I don't have access to any of the actual streams. So I'm going based off what's in the Discord server, the very few things we have on Jacob's channel, and that's about it. And so far,
I have all of them, but I wouldn't to you today because bad internet.
Bad internet. All right, here we go. Question 21. What is the name of the eclectic shopkeep who may have been a mystic or higher level being? Here's a hint. This is where Nathaniel got his bagpipes.
It's the flask, I think.
Well, he also at first.
Also,
got
no, he
eaten
didn't. No,
alive.
he didn't get his bagpipes. He had those to begin with because they were part of the original.
Okay.
orchestra. He got a guitar.
No, you see,
He got his
he
guitar.
first
And
got a
almost
ukulele.
Yeah, it was the
Just got you to lay here, but then that was quickly confiscated for a reason.
I was gonna ask a
The
question.
toxic gossip train.
No, I was gonna ask a question about the instruments that Nathaniel had, but I could only remember 2 of them.
So yeah, the
But you have my
bagpipe thing that
character
you
sheet.
remember
They're on my character sheets.
I know. I should have looked at that. Yeah.
The big bagpipe incident was in Ghosty's campaign.
No,
it was
the flesh bagpipe. Yes, I remember that.
Yeah,
Yes,
No,
exactly.
the reason I'm referencing the bagpipe was because I remember Jacob saying multiple times he did not know how to implement the bagpipes into a song.
Which means he had one
Yes.
to use.
Yep. So
Yeah, there we go.
Knick-Knack was the guy. Knick-Knack was a creation of Christians. Yikis is also a creation of Christians. Moria is a One Piece character, and Stefanos is a dancer from Thailand.
What? That's kind of random, but okay.
Okay, I was watching Red Bull dance your style while I was doing this, and he actually won this year.
Okay, I got that right. Why did I get downed?
Because I did
Probably someone
it
answered the question. Which period did the campaign take place in? This should be a very easy question. What period did the campaign take place in?
Because I kept mispronouncing it on purpose as a bit.
Yep.
Earlier in the stream, I literally said the words out loud.
Yep.
I
Well,
literally
I didn't
said
hear
it
you
out
say
loud.
them.
I said
I
it
didn't
verbally.
need to. Ah.
Yep, it was feudal Japan.
Early modern? Who
Japan
said
is
early
effective.
modern?
I do want to know who said early modern.
I love early modern
We're
Japan.
gonna find out. Just even...
Oh,
Okay,
you love it
here's
too
something
much,
to
I
ask.
guess.
All right, here you go. Next question. What was the name of the group of
gosh,
people
this
who owned the house with the Tron basement?
That's a good question. I actually
This is a
don't
hard
remember
one.
this one.
This was mentioned once.
What?
This was mentioned once during the conversation that Hera overheard between Oliver and I can't remember the name of the second character.
Okay, that was gonna get it right then.
I don't
Probably
think
why. That's probably why I don't remember it. Then oh, there we
It
go.
was-
Oh, I was gonna pick that, but then I decided to go
No
for
idea.
something else.
Wait, I was the only one that remembered it by accident.
Yep, it was
I guess.
Overclock.
No.
Yes.
All right,
Oh,
here
I
we
thought you were
go.
gonna overtake me. Never mind.
Next question. What cipher did Vinh, use during the really long
Oh,
library
man.
puzzle?
Oh! I did this.
Shoot.
This was
I will
me.
say,
I
I
solved
may
it.
have done the question on this one a little bit dirty. This is sort
This-
of a
Yeah, I was about to say there's 2 of that could
There's
count.
2 of
but,
them.
But there was
But
one
the
that stumped us.
is one of the here's the thing. So
Yeah.
here's the issue. Caesar was never touched. I'm gonna say that immediately. Caesar was never touched. Vinagere wasn't you. If I remember, this is the only one where I think I may have misremembered because I know Veloso was in the room.
Yeah.
I don't think Vinagere was in the room. Vinagere
No,
was
so
Vinagere was the sword.
yeah, so that was a code that we were expected to use, but we were so baffled by what Balasso even meant that we weren't really. We got stumped at that. We had no idea where we were even going.
Yeah. So, all right.
Not sure if we did any ciphers, Kiddo, because we were busy with trying to get you the sand thing. When we deciding which one of us was going to be sacrificed.
Yeah, the sacrifice room. All right. Congratulations, you did it. Doesn't it feel weird that it's been a whole year since this happened? Like time goes by really fast. That is really all I can say. Well, wait. There's one more question. One more. Good luck.
For all the
Final
marbles.
question: which of these options was never hit on the wild magic search table? What is not included?
Okay.
This is the hardest.
I'm pretty sure.
This is the hardest or second hardest question.
I went through all the sources of Nathaniel's trauma, and this
know
one was
exactly
the one that
when
I
each
do
of
not
these
recall.
three happened.
Yeah,
The answer was the next single target spell you cast must target one additional target. Because the next creature you talk to becomes hostile for an hour. That was in the library, in which Junior's character, Utopia Ash, it was activated on him, which is why you guys left him unconscious for the hour to do the long rest, so he would not be hostile.
Nathaniel didn't know at the time about the wild magic, so he just said, "Are you okay?" And then it's like, well.
Yep. A tiny cat 10 centimeter appears in the palm of your hand holding a blade of grass. That was Nick's.
It was Nick's, the character I deliberately never mentioned as soon as he was
yep.
through the
And
portal.
then there's the one that I do think it was a little mean that I did this. A tree 1d10 feet high grows under your feet. There was a second part of this that I had to remove because of the length of the question, and that it bears 1d4 fruit that activate wild magic surge upon eating. This happened near the beginning. Of the one shot, in which eating those fruit allowed for the summoning of the big giraffe.
There you go.
The next the other one that was just never activated. I picked randomly from the 100 table, and I knew that one didn't happen. So
yeah,
I'm gonna be so for real. I forgot that the big giraffe even came from something. I guess in my memory it just was there.
It was just there, but nope, that was wild magic. So, like I said, I will say the two hardest questions nobody did get right, so I was sort of correct about that. But anyways, 1 year later, let's see who knew the campaign best. In third place, it's Barb. Congratulations. In second, it's Lumina. And in first, even though he's struggling with his internet, it's Nathaniel!
It's me.
Yep.
About halfway through, I looked at Jacob's number, and I was like, "There's no way we can overtake him. I'm just after Lumi at this point."
Yep. Which you almost beat.
Yeah, right.
All right.
No, yeah,
No
Lumi
way.
and
You could have taken my position.
Emily and I
No
hopped
way.
places.
Did you take
Emily
me?
and I were hopping places. It was anyone's game.
Here
at
are
that
the
point.
two questions that I knew nobody would get right. This is the this was the who was in the encounter, and here's the one you guys just answered. That was a really annoying question. That was a really annoying question. The other ones were relatively difficult. Yeah.
Well, you could do the summary thing.
I want to play more Kahoots.
Yeah, come on.
Well, perhaps another time, because I probably used up most of my remaining mobile data doing this stream, and I'm now going to probably go mostly off grid for the next couple of days. So, Aidan, as far as the things that you and I have been preparing, you might be on your own now, unfortunately.
Oh no.
Good luck.
Unless you maybe Ghosty might be willing to help because she's done so in the past.
Ghosty's doing doctor stuff right now, so
I can probably put it together. So I will I'll periodically, appear and just be like, hey, how's it going?
Yeah.
I got this. Don't worry.
Well, how do y'all feel about the Kahoot that I made in the time span of maybe an hour?
I liked it. I want more.
I might make. You know what I might do? I might make one for a Colta once we hit a 1 year on that. How about that?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like we definitely have to have more episodes and stuff. I mean, I guess we could ask questions.
Well, I said it's a 1 year later thing. There will be more episodes.
Well, bear in mind there were no Breathing Moon questions here, so that leaves the 7 episodes of season 1, and then I guess and plus one shots. We've had 7 episodes of Occulta plus a one shot now, so technically speaking, we could.
Yep. I personally chose not to include Breathing Moon because one, I don't have as much information on it because I don't have access to most of the secret DM stuff in that Discord server, and 2, I don't think Ghost would have wanted me to mention anything about it, so I purposely chose not to include it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I went purely.
Yeah, my point with that was more so we have enough content to cover exactly what we've covered today.
Yeah, but yeah, so I mean, I would have to watch some of the other streams, but I do want at least the next session, which hopefully will happen next week. We'll plan that eventually. I want that to happen first before I even think about making a Kahoot for a Colta.
It's fair. I mean, you've got to talk about cheese golems now, so there's a lot to happen.
Yep. So I think I've said this to a few people. I believe the next episodes until episode 14 are all planned. So
okay.
We will have enough to do a Kahoot, but I'm gonna wait a bit. I don't want it to happen this soon. But yeah, I made this Kahoot.
Yeah, I was gonna say we also don't know if we're going to survive the next episode. So as you're doing all this planning, I will say.
If I have a way to escape if we don't survive, but yeah. So this Kahoot, it's based on the one that I had watched before, except I threw in trickier questions within the answers because some of the questions seemed too obvious. So I made them a little more fun.
Now let's see who's gonna kick the bucket the most by episode 14. Lou or Scooby?
Probably Lou.
We'll find out. I mean, Orchid never participated in a combat, but also, hey, you never know. First time, it might hurt. It might hurt hard. We'll
She's
see.
participated. She just hasn't taken damage yet. She's been in.
We will see next session, which will happen sometime next week. In fact, all of us except Ghosty are here, so I mean, I could ask, but also, I know BB, you don't get your work schedule until a bit, so I will wait.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, of course, absolutely.
Well, I usually don't get it late in the week, but I usually don't get it that late. I think the reason we got it that late was because our manager got fired mid like shift that week, and so everything kind of got higgledy-piggledy.
Oh, okay. Yeah, got it.
Part of it was just that there's like a pen was like trails off towards the end of the schedule on Wednesday.
Yep.
Well, it's because it's like, well, we don't have the shift lead anymore, so.
Yep. Yeah. Don't worry.
Since you've all right.
Yeah.
Since you brought up that most of us are here, like it is worth mentioning. I said this in the description, but I do love the fact that despite this campaign, not surviving, or at least not in the form in which it originated. Again, we'll definitely talk about that. Who knows? I might end up having to start on that while I have no internet. But yeah, despite that, I love the fact that all of us are still playing D&D together, in a form. Except for KW right now, but I mean, who knows? Maybe we've had plenty of guests in the past, so perhaps that may happen sometime in the future if the stars should align.
We'll see.
KW don't know what to do next.
But yeah,
let's
overall, I'd love to see how KW reacts to Scooby-Doo in real time.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I am.
And yes, the Jacob Nevertheless is coming soon, as is your own. So that's another adversity that I need to deal with.
That sounds fun.
Yeah, we'll get to that.
It'd be crazy if we did like a extra long Kahoot, and it's like a joint birthday Kahoot, but like for the channels.
I will get.
I didn't
will buy
some this year because I've done so many songs in the past. So
I will buy some
else.
Miracle get first place. I will buy some Miracle get first place. I don't know how.
Yeah, get like a 40 question epic, and it's like a mixed bag of Jacob and KW questions.
I will say this one was 25 questions, and it felt relatively short, so we could definitely go longer.
Well, to be fair as well, there weren't as many characters playing anyways. Like, if there were more players playing,
no, we need to do like
maybe it'd be a little longer.
Yeah, we need to do. Yeah, we need to do some. There's another Quest Rising Sun. Use your words or something. Maybe
we do need another
that would make. Oh god, use your words is so good. Honestly, I wouldn't even mind doing one for a cult at this point. Like, let's do one for a cult. I think that'd be fun.
We'll wait till Jacob's internet fixes itself up.
Oh yeah, obviously that.
Yeah, it's back on Monday, so yeah.
Oh, use your words. Yeah.
No, right? Like Emily, you say that.
We like themes. We like themes because AF now had themes, so we have themes.
We have themes.
We like themes because we are all younger and more malleable, and so now we're forced into the cycle.
I'm being forced into the cycle because I'm still younger now.
Join our cult. Join our cult. Join our cult.
No.
Join our cult. Join our cult. Join our cult.
No.
Join our cult.
No.
Join our cult.
No. Ow, my neck. Ow. Ow.
And there's a classic question something. Vin's pain.
I had a conversation with Ghosty about this too. I should have asked a question about this. Which part of my body did I complain about every single episode? Because it did happen every single episode. Go back.
Oh man, you should have had
I
like.
would have got that one. I would have got that one.
You should have had like which body problems did like I get during the run of this, and like half of the questions were you, and like half more Ghosty.
I'd given you the files for the streams, I would have loved to have had a question of like, you know, complete the lyric of this
If you had
song.
given me
What was
those,
the next line?
if you had given me those, this Kahoot would probably be like 50 questions long. Because
Which means there's plenty more. So who knows? We might be able to do this theme again at some other stage.
We should also end the stream here for Jacob's internet reasons, though.
Yes, that was my attempt at an outro.
Oh,
so, yes.
I would like to say one thing before that.
Oh, well.
No.
So
bad. Shut up.
So this being Quest of the Rising Sun's 1 year anniversary, I guess, would also technically be the 1 year anniversary for me being in this community, which honestly, wow, that feels surprising. I feel like I've been here way longer and yet way shorter. You know what I mean? Like,
you still feel very recent.
Yeah, I feel very recent. So it feels so weird to think that I've been here for a whole year at this point. But
yeah,
honestly,
well, the thing is, Vinh feels recent to us only because everyone else in this call has known each other for actual years.
Yeah. So it does.
Going on 5.
Which is one of the reasons I thought, you know, we should play
actually.
D&D together, because we knew how to work as an entity.
Yep.
Yeah, like all of us are go
that 'cause of
quite a
content.
ways back now.
Yep. But I mean, I am very glad that even though Quest of the Rising Sun didn't turn out as well as I hope it would have, it brought me into this community. It brought me into a place at which I can do, honestly, whatever the hell I want, and it ended up just becoming enjoyable. So, I mean, I'm glad, even though it didn't really pan out. You guys missed out on, like, 2 entire arcs, but, like, it's alright, you know? At least it brought me here. And
If we do the script, we might base that for the future.
Yep. I think I've told you before, I don't have it written down. It's just in here.
That's the point.
That was
Nothing's
Rising
written
Sun.
down yet,
Nothing
but
was
it would-
written
but it would
down.
be.
But yeah.
No, that was just another thing, you know.
Yep. But yeah. Happy to still be here 1 year after. Cause, you know, it's great.
Happy to have you here as the cool cousin that you are.
That's a good reference right there. That's a good reference.
Another possible
I
question for
really
future.
like how when Vinh did that, the camera zoomed closer into his face.
This is why I
Yep.
love this. It just goes wherever I want it to. It's amazing.
Yeah, we've all gotten used to that after a year as well. Okay, that's the end of the video for now. So thank you everyone for joining us for this absolute Quest of the Rising Sun, you know, in all its forms in which it has existed and will possibly continue to exist. And but now please leave a like or dislike because your opinion matters. So if you haven't done so already. And on that note, until next time, farewell.
Goodbye.
Bye.